Is the portrayal of Apu on The Simpsons totally racist? Thanks for watching. Today I'm going to talk about the documentary film The Problem with Apu and give you my take on it. This documentary is on truTV and it was directed by stand-up comedian Hari Kondabolu. The main theme of the film is the issue that Hari has his entire life with the character of Apu. Now, I was shocked to find out that The Simpsons is still on the air. I haven't seen it in at least 20 years, but I'm an adult. But Hari is apparently a big fan. I find this rather interesting coming from a stand-up comedian because we'll see this often in stand-up comedy. An audience member will laugh at jokes about all kinds of different groups, people from Walmart, people from the country, short people, fat people, whatever it happens to be. And then the comedian will touch on something a little bit too close to home and they'll become really emotional about it and just be outraged. And that's what I see here, is the director is just outraged at this character. And it's not just the character. The main issue that I see that he has with the character of Apu is that the voice actor, Hank Azaria, is white. Now, he asked his parents about Apu and Hank Azaria, and they didn't seem to have a problem with it. But he is a self-described snowflake, and it really comes across in this film. He seems to have that millennial outrage with so many things. But he's really hung up on getting an interview with Hank Azaria so he can tell him to his face, you know, how this has been the worst thing in his life, right? And if the worst thing in your life is a cartoon character, you got a great life, man. You know, congratulations. Now, it's interesting because I don't see what Hank Azaria being white is such a big deal. I mean, he's a great actor, and I think great actors can play anyone. I would think that if there were a new film with about JFK coming out and it turned out that they cast Denzel to be JFK, I think some people would think that an odd choice. But 15 minutes into the movie, you'd totally buy in, and you're just like, oh, this guy's JFK. This is great. You know, what a fantastic actor. I don't see the big deal with it. But I understand what you're really talking about is you want representation. Growing up, I had a lot of people that looked like me. I could choose from so many different things I could look to. And so I know that I don't have the same experience. Now, personally, my childhood hero was a character, George Jefferson, on the show The Jeffersons. I thought he was the coolest. I wanted to be like him. I wanted to be married, have a housekeeper, live in a dope apartment, have a chain of small businesses. I just thought that was the coolest. And, you know, the fact that he didn't look like me didn't mean anything to me. But I could make that choice, right? And what you're saying is that you didn't have that choice. You didn't have the characters in media, in entertainment that you could look to. And I think that that's really the misdirected thing about the character of Apu. Who I think you should really be upset about, right, is Hollywood for not giving you more characters. If there were plenty of Indian characters on TV and in movies and in entertainment, right, Apu wouldn't be a big deal. The big deal is that it's the only, right, one of the only things on TV that you could identify with. It'd been better if they just didn't have that character and there were no Indians? Perhaps, yeah, maybe it's better, right, to have no representation than representation that you think is a horrible stereotype. You did say that what bothered you was the way that Apu stood in for your parents. And I think that's on you, man. I don't see Apu representing anyone except Apu, you know. He's just a cartoon character. I saw him as a hardworking immigrant, right, that worked at the Quickie Mart. But you saw him as being your parents. And I think that that's one of the issues with being a collectivist, right? You think that every individual represents the group, and the group represents every individual in the group. There were a lot of great interviews in the film, and I really appreciated being able to see so many East Asian actors and get their take on things. I really loved Russell Peters when he said, "Don't get caught up upon my color. Don't get caught up on the words, get caught up on the intent. And I totally understand that, you know. I believe that the intent, right, of Hank Azaria making the Apu character was to be goofy and to have this, you know, offensive voice. We'll see that a lot today. Someone will be clumsy with their words, and, you know, the Twitter army, the social media will just come down really hard on them, bring pitchforks and torches to them, to someone that may have been coming from a good place. And I don't think that's healthy. I don't think that really advances any discussion in any way. But this movie did advance discussion. I appreciated seeing a different point of view. I thought that the director did a nice job of explaining what he was thinking and where he was coming from. One thing that I would challenge is that if there's any subject that you get very emotional about, right, that hits really close to home and that you react emotionally, that you probably are not being logical, and you're probably not able to step outside of yourself and look at things objectively. I know that's the case for me, and that's probably the case for you. Would I recommend you watching this? Sure, it's only 50 minutes long. You can check it out on truTV. You can stream it immediately if you have a cable service with truTV. Have you seen the film? What did you think about it? Thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. If you liked it, click that like button, subscribe for more, and leave a comment below. Peace.